Hey screen actors, you're in the right place. I made this video for you to help you grow, succeed, and dream big as actors. Today's video is about one thing: to Meisner or not to Meisner. That is the question. Whether it's better to show up at your on-camera audition armed with your Meisner technique, or to just show up relaxed and ready to receive anything. Now, I want to offer a little disclaimer here. I know that some people watching this are going to come away from this saying, Louis de Bianco doesn't like the Meisner technique. That is the farthest thing from the truth. Not only do I respect it, but I've used it, especially when I was teaching scene study classes, to prepare people for stage work. It's a marvelous exercise. The essence of Meisner is very simple. Only react to the honest impulse that you're receiving from another person, or just respond to the impulse and the energy that you're receiving from the other person. In other words, you don't have a preconceived notion of how you're going to say something. You're just going to respond depending on what the person gives you. Here is the challenge. A lot of the marvelous acting technique, all of which I have used, still use, have taught, now I teach it a little differently, all of it had its origin in stage work. Stanislavski was the Moscow theater, and then it was transported to the United States, made famous with the Actor Studio, and yes, a lot of those people went on to become great film stars, but it was designed for the stage, and they began their careers on the stage. The problem becomes not the technique itself, it's how you need to modify it and apply it when you're on camera, because the camera demands a different set of skills than the stage if you want to have a compelling performance. So here's the biggest problem for you if you use, let's say, not that you use, but that you rely exclusively on a technique like Meisner for your audition. You go into audition for camera especially, most of the time you don't know what you're going to get from a reader, but you can usually expect a fairly neutral or a mild read. By neutral, I mean sometimes monotone, and it's okay. Sometimes you're reading with a casting director who just reads the lines so you can hear them. So if you're going to be true to this Meisner technique, then, well, if you get a monotone read, then you should give a monotone read back. What will that do to your audition? So rather than be totally reliant on the Meisner or any technique, you should always have as your number one fallback the magic as if. You are going to perform your scene based on how you understand the emotional journey, based on what you have thought about in relation to what the other character is giving you and what you want from the scene, and you're going to do it as if the other person is giving you 100%. You've got to do that for auditions, particularly because it's not like relying on a scene partner that you've had rehearsal time with. You may sometimes, but most of the time you will not. So, to save you and to make all of your auditions, to put them all in your control and to make them all compelling, Be prepared to act as if. I did a movie called Mafia Doctor. It was actually a true story. In Halifax, quite a few years ago, and I was working with the great Paul Sorvino. Loved Paul. Worked with him a couple of times. And Paul, among other things, is a teacher. And he loves Meisner. And one day on the way to set to shoot a scene, he just turned to me and we introduced the Meisner exercise, and we did it back and forth. We had a great time. It really connected us. But here's the point. You can use Meisner when you and the other actor are on the same page. You are both giving and receiving the same kind of energy, which is not the situation you're going to find when you go to most auditions, not camera auditions. So, this is the key thing to take away from this. Please have Meisner in your inside of you, in your training. You're not consciously thinking about it. You're carrying it as one of your unconscious, powerful tools that you can use when it's called upon. Use it as a tool, but not ever as a crutch, because sometimes that crutch will just break and you will fall on your face. If you've received value from this, please leave a comment below. If you haven't received value from it, leave a comment below. And give the video and the channel a thumbs up, because YouTube loves that. And then it will help this content to go out to other people who could get benefit from it. And by all means, click subscribe to receive notifications for all of the tips and secrets that I'm going to bring to you. I'm teaching from my more than 40 years experience, not just what I learned by studying, but what I discovered and learned by doing. And the real world is often a very different teacher than the classroom world and the book world. Until the next video, say it, feel it. No, aha, I got it wrong. My own formula. Until the next video, feel it, say it, mean it, book it.